Hello, good morning, how the devil are you? Welcome along. Today is Wednesday, let's see, we must be the 8th of June 2022. This is our 8 a.m. movement snack. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. It is our first one of the day. It's where we start to get things moving, okay? So it's our circulation boosting and it's our mobilisation. I'm just going to pop me do not disturb on. And we're ready to go. Now I can see a couple of people are joining, so pop us a comment and let us know what's happening in your part of the world. Beautiful sunny day out there again today. A few clouds in the sky, and those little clouds that are in the sky look a bit grey. So we'll see. I managed to get home from work yesterday without getting wet. It was a beautiful day all day, and as it was getting to like the last 45 minutes of me finishing around about 7 o'clock last night, I could see the clouds coming in. It was really dark in the distance, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to get wet again. It's not the way. It can stay beautiful all day, and then as soon as I start to leave to come home, it rains. But I managed to get home without getting wet. I got halfway home when the rain started. So hopefully today will be the same. We should keep our fingers crossed, eh? Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your 8 a.m. movement snack. Now I can see George is in the house, so good morning. Bit dull here at the moment. Hopefully it cheers up for you up in Cruden Bay there, George. Margaret Wood in Chesterfield. Been raining but sunny now. That's lovely to hear. Carol Elliott, good morning to you as well. Part of the collective are in the house. Now, what are we doing today? Well, we're mobilising after we've circulation boosted, of course. We're getting our day off to a good start. Maddie Stagner, good morning to you. And Gillian Hiller, good morning to you. Dry so far in Port Talbot for Gillian. And a dull and damp in Dagenham this morning. That's not the sort of catchphrase you want, is it? Dull and damp Dagenham. All the D's. But hopefully it becomes undull and undamp in Dagenham. So you get a bit of sunshine hopefully a little bit later on. So I've got lovely blue sky but with patches of cloud, and those patches of cloud are sort of grey. So I've got a feeling it's not going to start like that out of there today. It's going to persist with some rain at some point. Good morning to you, Don. Hope things are good with you. I was about to go into my alliteration there. Ran the ragged rock, the ragged rascal ran. On all those sorts of things, you know. Right, what have I got in my pocket? I've got the car keys in my pockets. I'll put those out because that'll sort it out. And I'm going to be confused. I'm going to be all confused today because new table arrived yesterday. We've been waiting for 3 months for it. Arrived yesterday. New chairs. So we'll see how I get on. All right. I was dreading having to do yesterday because I had no chairs at all yesterday. It would have been a piano stool or it would have been the lounge chair. Because the old table went to my daughter's on Sunday. Sorry, excuse me. Right, Christine Perry. Good morning to you this morning. Dawn is saying that the sky is you're still full of cold. Sorry. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better soon, Dawn. Stay warm. It's warm here in Harrow. Rained overnight, but now dry. So down in Harrow at the moment. Stay warm. Get better. We need you better, Dawn. It's this time of year, isn't it? Sort of catches us out a bit sometimes with colds and stuff like that. A lot of hay fever around at the moment as well. A lot of my clients yesterday were running eyes. Hay fever was pretty bad down here. The pollen was pretty bad down our way yesterday. So a lot of people were struggling. Bridget, good morning to you. Finally made it in for a live. Sound is bad though. I do apologise. Hopefully the sound's okay for everybody else. I haven't changed anything. I'm still talking the same, still rabbiting as much as I do. Vivian Dickinson, good morning to you, Dave, and everyone. It's a dull start to the day after heavy rain during the night. Let's hope that rain and those clouds are heading on out, and you're going to have a lovely day there, Vivian. Sounds good to me here at Fern Dawn. Okay, we are at 8 a.m, so it's time to lose those comments off the bottom screen if you want to. Swish them away, and away we go. Bow. Right, should we have a 3, 2, 1? You know I can't do a 3, 2, 1 like how Kelsey can. Most jealous. So we have a whoosh, whoosh, bing. Today it's going to go whoosh, whoosh, bing. Good morning everybody, welcome along. You're with Dave Montgomery from Later Life Training. Today is Wednesday. It's the 8th of June 2022. This is your 8 a.m. movement snack. It's our mobilisation, our circulation boosting to get the day off to a good old start. Now, as always, standing or seated, choice is yours. In standing we've got our fixed external support, and in seated we've got a strong sturdy chair. I was just saying we've changed the tables and chair, so a new chair for me to work with today. I haven't even sat down in it yet. It was delivered during the day yesterday, I got home late. So I haven't even had a good old sit down yet. I will do it in a minute though. Alright, now listen, for this snack, if you're on a carpet, then socks or feet could be the instance that we want to use, okay? So they can feel the floor beneath your feet. Now I would usually be like that, but I have to race out to work, so I've got my trainers on. If you're on a hard floor, however, it is sensible, comfortable footwear the whole time, yeah? Let's have a look at our posture. In standing, we've got our heels in line with our knees in line with our hips, and we lift and lengthen. Have a good day, darling. Lift and lengthen to create a little bit of space between our ribs and our hips. Shoulders come up, back, and we press them down. So open this rib cage. I'm aware of it, don't worry. Open the rib cage. From there, we're ready to go. Now in seated, the first thing we need to do is bring ourselves away from the back of the chair. Now, I've got a big back anymore, it's a low back. Bring it away from the back of the chair. From there, it's a lift and a shift to bring ourselves into the front third of the chair. Now, once we're in the front third of the chair, again, we line everything up. Shoulders go up, back and down. And we can start with our circulation boosting. It's about lifting those heels off the floor, creating a bit of space between the floor and your heels, creating a crease between your toes and the ball of your foot. We start small and we take it bigger. It's the same in standing. So from here, we're going to take it into a march, lifting the foot clear of the floor. That gives us an opportunity to get that movement happening more into our ankles. And a bit of a creak and a crack from your ankles this morning. Pop an arm in, just the one arm to start off with. We don't want to be greedy. Just the one arm, driving that elbow backwards, so it's a driven movement. It's not just a swing of the arm from the shoulders. It's got some purpose to it, okay? Now, seated and standing, we can change arms as we need to, changing from side to side. In standing with support, we can do that as well, but we just need to think about it. So our hand comes down before the other comes off, so we always use that support. We've always got that support there. Now, if our support's to the side, if you've got support on the other side, then again, you can pop the hand down and you can bring the other hand in. However, if you don't have support on the other side, what we need to do is think about what we're doing here. So, we lose the arm. We make the march a little bit smaller. We take as many steps as we need to turn to the other side. And then once we've turned around, we bring that other arm back in on the other side. So we've got a change happened there. We've kept our support in place though. Finally, in seated and in standing, if you feel steady and stable, we'll have both arms, both legs together. Now we can alternate the arms, so we've got the arms working with opposite legs. Or, if we want to, I've got to see if I can do this now, if we want to challenge our brain, we can put the arm in as well as the same as the leg. So same arm, same leg. Okay, blimey, challenging your brain this time of the morning, what am I doing? 2 minutes max, let's lose the arms. Bring it down a little bit, make it a little bit smaller this march. Bring it back down into those heel raises and then to a pause. At which point we're ready to start with our circulation boosting. Now we're going to start with the top trio as always. So look at posture firstly. Heels just outside of our hips, knees softened. Lift and lengthen, tall. In the seat, sit tall. We come closer. Shoulders to start off with. Now important thing here is neck stays lengthened. Shoulders raised towards those ears and then we press them back down, coming a little bit lower than where we first started. So pressing down, this lift and this press down. Okay? Now this gives us a good range of motion. And by getting that neck lengthened and pressing back down, we get the best range of motion that we can. But remember, you may have a different range. That's fine. Now, after 4 or 5, take a pause and we'll take it into a rotational movement. So we bring the shoulders forward, we lift towards our ears, back past those earlobes, shoulder blades together, and we press back down. So we get this cyclical motion happening, lifting, rotating, and bringing it down. And we're looking at 4 or 5. Again, slow and controlled, so we get that best range of motion. Now, once you've done your 4 or 5, it's a pause once more. Let's take it into the head turn. So have some support available. Eyeliner is going to stay level. That means your chin stays level as well. We turn to the side. We pause in the centre and then we turn the other way. Now, the important thing here is that we've got this little pause in the centre. This gives the head, the ears, the system in our ears a chance to stabilise itself so that hopefully we don't feel any disorientation. But if we do, that's where your support comes in. Pop your hands on your support. That proprioception, being aware of where your body is in relation to things around it, is going to help that system say, okay, I'm all right. All these systems work together to help us as far as our balance is concerned. So we've got our vision, we've got our system in our ears, which is called the vestibular system, and we've got our proprioception, which is touch, being aware of what's around us. Once you're doing 4 or 5, take a pause and let's head into this back of the neck. Now, eyeline is going to stay level here, so we're going to give ourselves another chin. Fingers on your chin, but it's only as a guide. And what we do is we come back. We lengthen through the back of the neck. Now, we can either keep the fingers on the chin as a guide, or we leave them where they are and bring them back. Now, as a guide on your chin, all they're doing is trying to make sure that that chin doesn't raise up. So we're not pressing back with it. We don't want to hurt the neck at all. So lengthening down through the back of the neck. We're restacking that head back onto the top of the spine. 4 or 5 of those is what you're looking for. 4 or 5. There you go. Once you're doing 4 or 5, it's a pause. A dramatic pause. And we're going to head into a circulation boosting movement again. Feet only. No arms, okay? So use your support if you need it. And remember, in seated, you've got that option to come back into those heel raises. With 30 seconds. So we're not doing the whole thing again. Just enough to give our body a little bit of a reboost before we move into our trunk trio. So we're starting to move down the body. Now, trunk-wise, just standing here, just sitting, the trunk is working, it's supporting the upper body. But let's think about how many times in a day do we turn to the side, do we twist, do we reach for something? All of those sorts of activities, and the trunk is involved in that. So let's really mobilise it. Now, when we come to the end of the 30 seconds, bring it down a little bit, make it a bit smaller and take it to a wider stance. We want our shoulders in line with our heels. Perhaps your heels just slightly outside of your shoulders. Depends on how wide your shoulders are, really. From here, we've got a side bend to start off with. So, straight down, straight up and a pause. Straight down, straight up and a pause. Changing side every time. If support's in front, change hand every time. If support's to the side, then it's into your support, back to the centre. You do your 4 or 5 on that side, and then you turn to the other side. Now, in seated, it's exactly the same movement, but we need to focus on keeping our buttocks on the floor, on the seat, okay? So we don't lift the buttocks. We want to keep them still, so we lengthen down the side of the body, we don't lean. Now, it's a prime example of what I've always said. We go straight down, straight up. So, in standing, we can use our leg as a guide. In seated, we can use the leg of the chair as a guide, as long as it's straight. Now, you can see mine comes slightly forward. So if I'm to follow that, I'm going to bring my body forward, and I don't want that. So work with what is right for you. It's just that straight down, straight up motion. Imagine you reach down to pick something out of a bag that's by the side of you. Those sorts of movements. 4 or 5 on each side. Once you're doing 4 or 5, take a pause. We're heading into our trunk twist. Now I'm going to start this in seated for you. So seated here, my bottom stays firmly on the chair. I don't want my hips to move. Now, as I turn, keeping my elbows in line with my shoulders, I can feel through my hips now if I've got any movement, because I'm going to feel those buttocks lifting if I've got movement in my hips. When I'm standing, I need to focus on this, okay? So knees soften, and we focus on trying to keep that pelvis and hips still. What we don't want to do is twist. Supports in front, change hands every side, support to the side, into your support and back, like we did with our side bend. Or how about this? Pop your bottom against your support, or pop your hips onto your support. Now, as you turn, you're going to get the same information as you do from the chair. So as you turn to the side, if you can feel your buttock lifting or your hip lifting away from the support, you know you've got movement. So we're getting some feedback from our environment as to what's happening as far as our hips are concerned. And that means we can focus into this bit here. So we can put all of our mental focus into that element and that movement there, trying to get the best range of movement. Seat belts, rolling over in bed, all of those sorts of things where we turn to the side. That's what we're looking at. And the important thing about keeping the hips still is we don't want to twist that knee. Now, once you've done 4 or 5 of those, we're going to go into the lower back. So here, it's a back extension. Use your support if you need it. Eye line is going to stay level again, so we're going to give ourselves another chin. Knees are softened still, and we want to stop the pelvis coming forward or backwards. So the movement is to lift the chest and then extend backwards. Okay? So we've got this lift of the chest and then this extension. And that's where we're feeling our lower back. We're not hinging back. Now in seated, once again, we get the feedback from the chair. So this time we're going to feel for how the hips, top of the thighs, and the buttocks are sitting on that chair. And if we feel a change in weight, as we extend back, we know we've got movement. So if I can feel, as I come and extend the movement, the weight shifting into the buttocks more than into the thighs, I know that I've got movement in there. So we want to keep that even distribution. And down. 4 or 5 of those is what you're looking for. Now if you have any lower back pain, this is really going to help as far as that pain is concerned. Once you do 4 or 5, take a pause. Let's head into another circulation booster. Arms only this time. Now the important thing here is, if you're in seated and standing is not where you're looking to get to, you may want to now go over one of those other mobilisations. Be it one of the leg, one of the upper body, shoulders or head, or the trunk. You may want to do that. If standing is where you're aiming to get to, then come along with me and the seated version. All right? 30 seconds of this, and then we bring it down, make it a bit smaller, bring it to a pause, and let's head into our ankle, feet and toes. Now, in standing, use your support because get the best range of motion. Don't focus on balancing. Get the best out of your ankles, all right? I'm going to lift my trouser leg up a little bit so you can see. Right, so leg that's close to the support, knee is soft, other leg comes in. We put the toe on the floor and we lift and put the heel in the same place. So it's not toe and heel, it's into the same place. So we get that real big range of motion. When your heel's on the floor, splay your toes. As you bring the foot over, scrunch it and then point the toes down towards the floor. Now, just readjust the chair. We can do exactly the same in seated. We might just need to readjust where the foot is so we can get that range of motion, but there we are, look, toe and heel. But you may prefer to take a little hip walk, that's the word I'm looking for, hip walk back into the chair, sit yourself comfortably, and from here, extend that foot away. So it's, I'll bring this leg up as well. So it's just about 1 inch, 2 inches off the floor. We're pointing the toes away, and then from there we're bringing the toes in towards the shin. Now this point and this flex here, scrunch the toes, here, splay the toes. Important things here, the foot is about 1 inch off the floor, that's all. It doesn't drift up because that then becomes strength. And also, if you need to have a rest, pop your foot down between every one or every couple, do. Come back in, reset. Once you've done your 4 or 5, change to the other leg, and away you go. Now finally, in standing, we can take this a stage further. So we can take it into that step through. And there you can see that there's the heel, and there's the roll through onto the ball of the foot and the toes. And even in my shoes, I can feel the toes start to grip that floor a little bit when I come up onto my ball and my feet and my toes. In socks or barefoot, you're going to really feel that. Now that is your 8 AM movement snack for today. So listen, let me pull my trouser legs down before people start giving me funny looks through the windows. There we go. That is your movement snack for today, okay? Have a great day. Stay active, stay mobile. Stay with, I think we've got Bex this afternoon. I'm sure we've got Bex this afternoon. Or Kelsey at lunchtime and Bex this afternoon. I'm not sure. I've lost the plot. But we'll be with you noon o'clock and 4 o'clock this afternoon. I'll be back with you on Friday morning, and I'll also be with you at 4 o'clock on Friday. So have a great day, stay active, stay mobile, keep crowbarring away, and I'll see you real soon. Toodles everyone.